everybody. Welcome to this episode of Think Business. I'm looking forward to talking to Lubo Smid. Lubo, it's great to connect with you, co-founder and CEO of STRV, a software design and engineering company that's built products for the likes of Barry's, The Athletic, Microsoft, and so many more. You're a Forbes 30 under 30, and it's great to connect with you. I'm looking forward to talking to you about websites and design and all of the things that you do from a next level design and engineering standpoint, and really diving into AI as well, and how you're using that in with your companies today. As a business coach and this podcast, Think Business, one of the things I do is work with people all over the globe who are successful but stuck and get them unstuck. And so I always like to start off by talking to business owners and say, where's a recent stuck of yours, Lubo, and how were you able to get unstuck?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. And if we are diving right in, one of the recent themes for me was delegation. And I have had a 12 or almost 13-year-long career right now in with a single company. And I have, I believe, reached a point when I realized, okay, I need to change something, because there was just so much stuff operationally hitting me that I was not able to spend any time on the strategy or anything like that. So I think I was stuck in operations, and I had to think twice how to get out of that. And partially it is building up a very strong leadership team around me and delegating to them. But also, first time in the history, I have managed to hire an executive assistant, something that I was not that keen to do prior, but I actually can say now that it's extremely beneficial, and it's unlocking me to do a lot of different things and to deploy my time very efficiently to focus on the things that I need to focus on.
Lubo, I'm glad you talked about that. You know, one of the things as a business coach that I talk to my clients a lot about is understanding what your time is worth. And, you know, anything that is under that time on a, let's say, if you look at it on a per hourly basis, you want to start making lists of what you can delegate. You know, so if your time is worth 100 or 500 or $1,000+ an hour, you want to be delegating the $10 tasks and the $15 tasks and the $20 tasks to people, and hiring an executive assistant or a virtual assistant. I find sometimes CEOs that I talk to and work with are hesitant because they've built everything and they think it makes, you know, it makes them feel like elitist to have an executive assistant, but really it's a really smart thing to do to begin to delegate. So I appreciate you sharing that. Let's dive into your business. STRV.com. You are next level design and engineering. And I really want to talk about all of that. But, you know, November 2022 changed everybody's world when AI became much more mainstream and accessible to the masses. And so how are you utilizing AI for the companies that you work with today?
Yeah, that's a great point, and there is multiple things that happened within that time frame, not just the burst of the AI hype, but also a lot of other things. But speaking of AI, this is a trend that we have been following for many, many years now, and we've been carefully preparing for that moment when the bubble bursts pretty much. So we have started building our data science and AI team back in 2020, and slowly working on some applications of machine learning models and different data science applications, really building up the expertise. And since the beginning of this year, we see that the interest in those services pretty much skyrocketed. And now nearly every company is thinking about how do we leverage the current offering of AI that is at our disposal. And I think that's a very smart way to think about that.
Yeah.
And one thing is to leverage the models, the large language models that are out there. But the other approach is also like, how do we build something bespoke and so on? So
Can
there
you
is,
give some examples of that, of some of the things you're doing front end and back end when it comes to using AI for some of your clients?
it's a lot about automating content, generating text, images, video, moderating content in different kinds of applications. Basically, today, every single app that has user generated content needs to have monitoring and approvals in place so people can flag content that is not right. And if you are leveraging AI for the majority of the tasks, it can help tremendously. Recommendation is a great place where to leverage AI. um, it goes on and on and on. It's pretty much endless. We are right now working on a concept to recommend workouts based on your fitness and health data. And like, these models are extremely powerful, that if you deploy them in the right way, it's mind-blowing what it can do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really amazing. And I feel like we're just kind of in nursery school with how we're using it today. It reminds me of, going back to just Web 1. It seemed very cutting edge, and then it quickly became, it quickly evolved by the week. And I feel like we're seeing that with AI too. Let's talk about, thanks for sharing that. Let's talk about, you do a lot of product design, you do a lot of web development. Let's talk about simplicity and clear messaging and the importance of, attention spans are so short, Lubo, today. So how does somebody look at all of these things to make it as clear as possible? And how much time do we have before somebody, goes somewhere else?
Yeah, I think that we live in the world that you only have a split second of to attract the user of the app, right? We live in the era where people are constantly glued to Instagram and TikTok, and they go from one video to another, and it just needs to be catchy from the get go. And I think, like, when you say simplicity, that is the word that is deeply embedded in. Definitely in my approach, and I believe in also the approach of the entire STRV team, that when we design things, we really want to focus on, like, what is the clear use case that we are solving here, and what is the fastest track to that. So, like, just to put it in a perspective, right? If you are booking a fitness class, how do we reduce that process to the minimum steps possible? Because, like, I think that's where majority of the apps are basically shooting themselves in the foot, because they put a lot of obstacles and there is a huge drop off rates. And so for me, this is just a great way how to look at simplicity, right? People like to have things done fast and easy. And I think that, having all of the controls at your fingertips, having them in the right place of the screen that is easily accessible on those smartphones, and like, all of that plays a big role. And of course, like, every app and every system is unique, so you have to tailor that. And sometimes you want to push it a little bit, sometimes you just want to ask for a little bit of extra information, but certainly you don't want to, like, overwhelm users with the options. And on top of that, I think that just focusing on what's the value add rather than labeling things, and leveraging the high buzzwords of, like, whatever is happening behind it, I think is the way to go. Just, yeah,
Yeah.
keep it simple.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. All right, great. Keep it simple. And so how have you kept it simple in the growth of your business? How do you keep it simple? What's your formula for simple?
It is hard, and especially as you do things over and over again for many many years. It is not simple to keep things simple, but I think that our guiding principles really helped at STRV. And one of them is actually, it's funny, we say about we talk about simplicity, and one of our core principles is striving for more.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you strive for more and keep things simple? But I think that's the beauty, that you all the time try to push things, but you don't want to be adding like unnecessary processes or put obstacles in place. I think you always need to be finding the ideal balance between the two.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great. No, I agree. I think keeping things really, really simple is really, really important. And giving people just the simple next steps of things is really, really important. Let's talk about you as a Forbes 30 under 30, right? You're an entrepreneur, Forbes 30 under 30. What's some of the lessons that you have extracted from some of the other people that you've met in the Forbes 30 under 30 world?
I would say it's a lot about persistence. I think that the success, and like everyone can measure success differently, right? So there is no single measure what it means. But when it comes to dedication and like sticking what you are doing for a decent period of time, sooner or later you will make a breakthrough. And I have heard it from many many people that I have around me, that like you can't really give up on the first try. Maybe you have to do 2 attempts or 3 attempts, and like you hear the stories that someone like makes it, and like uh, they start the first business, and it suddenly like is extremely popular within months. These are rare examples, um, and that's the tip of the iceberg usually. I think
Yeah.
it's a lot about dedication, putting in the hard work. This is not the rocket science of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You just need to put in the hours, put in the work, and then you will see results. So when I look at my Forbes 30 under 30 fellows, uh, I think a common pattern is like giving it a lot,
Yeah.
and yeah, working hard.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah, the just the persistence, the consistency, the grit. I mean, just all of it, but still kind of keeping it simple every day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, doing the basics, the blocking and tackling, the fundamentals. I love it. All right, let's do a quick speed round, Lubo. What's a book, a TED Talk, or an article that's had the biggest impact on you?
Whew, the biggest impact. There's many books. Um, One that I enjoy a lot is actually from a friend of mine, Andy Dunn, Burn Rate, where he talks about his startup journey with a bipolar disorder. And I think for every entrepreneur that will be on the path for like a decent amount of time, there will be obstacles, there will be tough times,
Yeah,
there will be mental challenges, and just a great insight into how important it is to take care of our physical and mental health. So yeah, dear friend of mine, Andy Dunn and Burn Rate.
good. I like it. Thank you for that. Best piece of wisdom you've ever received.
Whew, best piece of wisdom. Um, I feel like I will go again with what I was mentioning earlier, and that's like if you have a dream, uh, you just have to follow that for a decent amount of time to see it come to fruition. You can't be giving up. you can't be having a plan B.
Yeah.
As Arnold would say.
Yeah, I love it. All right, finish this sentence. Last question. One thing everybody can do to start delegating more is?
Whew. Just find the right people that will support you, and I think that that's the team, right? If you have the team around you, you can start delegating tomorrow. Build trust, test it out. If it doesn't work, make a change. But you need the team around you that you can delegate to. Make sure that you trust the team and you have the right people that you can delegate to.
Yeah, it's great. And tell everybody your ideal clients and how they can connect with you, Lubo.
Ideal clients are well-funded companies that want to build something great. We focus on Series A plus startups and bigger organizations as well, helping them design and develop cutting-edge tech. And the best way to contact us is through our website, strv.com, or anywhere on social media. Lubo Smid is my handle everywhere. My name is, fortunately enough, fairly unique.
Yeah.
So easy to find me there.
Right. Well, Lubo, this was great. I appreciate your insights on things. And it's always great talking to people all over the world. I know you're in Prague right now. So thanks for being here. Think community. I love this podcast. I get to bring on people in alignment with my mission to help successful people get unstuck, who are stuck. And Lubo, you shared a lot of stuff. But I'm going to go back to one of the main things you talked about from the beginning was the importance of delegation. Think community. We talk a lot about the leading activities that you need to do throughout the course of a day. We also talk a lot about this show, and I talk a lot about this with my clients is, just because you're doing a lot of busy work and admin work doesn't mean you're growing your business or your company. And so you really want to pay attention to not only you, but all of the people around you, make sure they're doing the right things, because everybody should be delegating what isn't leading the business forward. Not that they can delegate everything, but you really want to look at the landscape of your org chart and take away things and take things off people's plate that they shouldn't be doing, that's draining their time and draining their energy. So Lubo, thanks for that reminder. You can reach Lubo at... give them your website one more time,
strv.com.
strv.com. And you can reach me at jondwoskin.com. Lubo, this was great. I appreciate your insights. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Thank you so much.